Liam Rosenior is changing everything in just his first game in charge, and the signs are already showing. The new Chelsea boss kicked off his era with a statement performance, dismantling Charlton Athletic 5-1 in the FA Cup third round. Goals from Joral Hato, Tosin Adarabioyo, Mark Guiu, Pedro Neto, and an Enzo Fernandez penalty painted a beautiful picture of what could be coming under the former Hull City manager. But beyond the scoreline, there were tactical nuances that caught my eye. Little adjustments that suggest Rosenior isn't just here to copy and paste what Enzo Maresca left behind. If you're enjoying this breakdown, smash that like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss any Chelsea tactical insights. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's only Charlton, a League One side, so how much can we really read into this performance? Fair point, but even against lower opposition, patterns emerge, systems take shape, and you start to see the manager's fingerprints all over the pitch. And trust me, Rosenior's fingerprints were everywhere at Stamford Bridge. Let me take you through what I observed, starting with the most obvious talking point. Rosenior has kept the Maresca blueprint alive, and this shouldn't surprise anyone who followed his appointment closely. Blueco, Chelsea's ownership group, didn't bring Rosenior in to tear down everything Maresca built over the first half of the season. They specifically chose him because his philosophy mirrors Maresca's possession-based, technical approach. The Italian left Chelsea in a certain direction, playing out from the back, dominating the ball, building through structured phases. Rosenior respects that foundation. But here's where it gets interesting. While the core system remains familiar, there are modifications already creeping in. Under Maresca, we became accustomed to seeing fullbacks invert into midfield, creating numerical superiority in central areas and allowing Chelsea to control games through the middle third. Rosenior's fullbacks still invert, yes, but with a twist. Against Charlton, both Joral Hato on the left,
Josh Achampong,
filling in at right back, were given more freedom to push higher and join attacking phases more aggressively. Hato especially looked liberated. The young Dutchman didn't just tuck inside to provide an extra body in midfield, he roamed forward with purpose, looking to create overloads in the final third. His goal came from exactly this kind of adventurous positioning. Instead of sitting deep or playing conservative passes, Hato found himself in attacking spaces that Maresca's system rarely encouraged fullbacks to occupy. The same applied to
Josh Achampong,
who isn't naturally an attacking fullback, but still pushed forward with intent whenever Chelsea had possession in Charlton's half. This might seem like a small detail, but it could be massive going forward. If Rosenior can maintain defensive stability while giving his fullbacks this extra license to attack, Chelsea suddenly have another dimension to their game. It adds unpredictability, stretches opposition defenses wider, and creates different passing angles that weren't always available under Maresca's more rigid structure. What did you notice about how the fullbacks played compared to earlier this season? Drop your thoughts below, because I'm curious if you spotted the same patterns I did. Moving to the midfield, and this is where things get really tasty. Moises Caicedo and Andre Santos started together as a double pivot, and honestly, they looked fantastic. Now, before anyone jumps down my throat saying it's just Charlton, let me explain why this partnership excites me, regardless of the opposition. The chemistry between them was evident from the first whistle. They positioned themselves close to each other, constantly communicating, covering ground, and breaking up any attempt Charlton made to play through the middle. Caicedo has been one of Chelsea's most consistent performers this season, bringing energy, ball-winning ability, and progressive passing to the midfield. Pairing him with Santos, a young Brazilian who plays with maturity beyond his years, created a solid foundation that allowed the attacking players ahead of them to express themselves freely. Santos didn't try to do too much, he kept things simple, recycled possession intelligently, and showed good positional awareness to cover spaces when Caicedo stepped forward to press. The compactness between them was the standout feature. In modern football, double pivots can sometimes be too spread out, leaving gaps that clever opposition can exploit. Not here. Caicedo and Santos operated almost as one unit, shifting together, pressing together, and ensuring there was always cover. Against the League One side, this might not be tested to the extreme, but the principles were sound, and that's what matters when building chemistry.
The real test will come when they face Premier League quality opponents.
Can they maintain the solidity against teams that press aggressively and move the ball quickly? Can Santos handle the physicality and pace of top-flight football? These are questions that only time will answer, but the early signs from this Charlton game suggest ROSENIOR might have found a partnership worth exploring further. Here's something else that genuinely surprised me. Chelsea took multiple shots from outside the box, and this might be the most significant tactical shift I witnessed. Under Maresca, one of the biggest criticisms was the team's struggle to break down low blocks. Chelsea would pass the ball beautifully, dominate possession, create nice patterns, but when teams sat deep and compact, the Blues often looked toothless. They'd work the ball into good areas but rarely test goalkeepers from distance. Charlton set up exactly as you'd expect a lower league team to do against Chelsea. They defended deep, stayed compact, flooded bodies behind the ball, and dared Chelsea to find a way through. In previous matches this season, you'd see Chelsea players pass sideways endlessly, waiting for the perfect opening that never quite came. Not this time. From early in the game, Chelsea players were pulling the trigger from distance. Fernandes tried his luck, Neto had a go, even Caicedo stepped forward to shoot a couple of times. Marguillo's goal perfectly illustrated why this approach matters. His strike came from a shot outside the box that the Charlton goalkeeper could only parry, and Gullo was alert enough to pounce on the rebound. If Chelsea hadn't been willing to shoot from distance, that goal probably doesn't happen. The willingness to test the keeper, to create chaos, to force mistakes through long-range efforts opens up different scoring opportunities. This has to be something ROSENIOR and his coaching staff continue to develop. Shooting from distance is a skill that requires practice, confidence, and technique. If Chelsea players can add this weapon to their arsenal, it makes them so much more dangerous against defensive teams. Low blocks become less effective when you're not just trying to pass through them, but also threatening from range. Goalkeepers have to come off their line, defenders have to close down shooters, and suddenly spaces open up that weren't there before. Do you think Chelsea's lack of long-range shooting has been a problem this season? Let me know, because this could be a game changer. The overall performance was dominant, professional, and exactly what you'd want from a new manager's first game. 5 goals scored, only 1 conceded to a team that barely threatened. But it's the tactical details that matter most at this stage. ROSENIOR tapped what works, tweaked what needed adjusting, and showed he's not afraid to give his team different tools to solve different problems. Obviously, we need to see this against better opposition. Charlton are fighting in League One for a reason, and Chelsea should be beating teams like that convincingly. The real tests are coming soon. Arsenal in the EFL Cup semi-final first leg will be a completely different challenge. Mikel Arteta's side won't sit back and allow Chelsea to dominate possession. They'll press high, force mistakes, and punish any defensive lapses. Then there's Brentford in the Premier League, a team that's caused Chelsea problems in recent seasons with their direct style and physical approach. Those matches will tell us much more about ROSENIOR's Chelsea than this Charlton game ever could. But you have to start somewhere, and starting with 5 goals, clean sheets for the most of the match, and visible tactical tweaks is about as good as it gets. The fullbacks pushing higher adds an extra attacking dimension. The Caicedo-Santos partnership provides midfield stability. The willingness to shoot from distance gives Chelsea another way to unlock deep defenses. ROSENIOR ball is up and running, and while it's early days, the initial signs are promising. This isn't a revolution, it's an evolution. The foundation Maresca built remains intact, but ROSENIOR is adding his own layers, his own ideas, his own identity. Whether that's enough to achieve Chelsea's ambitions this season remains to be seen, but for now, Blues fans have reason to be optimistic. The journey continues against Arsenal and Brentford, and trust me, I'll be watching every tactical detail with the same intensity. ROSENIOR's first game might have been against lower opposition, but the blueprint for his Chelsea is starting to take shape, and it looks interesting.